So legally, you're able to change your B-1, B-2 visa to a different types of visa in these scenarios. Okay, so as long as your B-1, B-2 is still valid, and your I-94 is still valid, that you're not out of status, you can be able to change from a B-1, B-2, a visit visa, a business visa. You can be able to change. You're able to change from a B-1, B-2 to an F-1 visa. An F-1 visa is a student visa. So if you're able to find a school and you apply to the school and the school is able to accept you and then provide you with an I-20, you can be able to take that I-20 to be able to apply to do an adjustment of status. Okay, and in the meantime, what you can also do is you can also apply for your visit visa to be extended as you navigate the process of changing from a B-1, B-2 to an F-1, which is a student visa. The other way that you can also change is you can change from a B-1, B-2 to, let's say, you came in here and your intention was to just come here, vacation or do whatever you want to do, with your B-1, B-2 visa, but then you fell in love. You met somebody, you met a U.S. citizen, and you fell in love, and you're not able to. It's true love. It's true love, and you found your person. You found your forever, and love is you can't fight love, and sometimes finding your soulmate is really difficult, and so you found the person. You found your person. There's no way you're gonna leave this world. It's like, I'm not going back home and leaving my person. Okay, so your intent was to just come in here and then go back, but then you fell in love. That happens. It's part of life. Some of these things you cannot be able to stop. So yeah, so you can be able to change your B-1, B-2 visa into into a marriage-based visa. So you can apply for your green card through marriage. And if both of you are in the U.S., you don't have to see the way, if one of you is outside the U.S. and one of you is inside the U.S., sometimes you kind of have to start with the I-130, and then after the I-130 you go through process by process. But if both of you are present in the U.S., you can send in all your documents at the same time. You can send in your I-130, your adjustment of status, the affidavit of support, everything to the you can send them everything in. You can send them to the USCIS to process them at the same time. So yeah, once again, your B-1, B-2 was, is still valid, but then you fell in love. That happens. Some of these things you cannot be able to stop. You can't stop them. So there is also another way that this is only for an E2 visa. This is where, so there's some treaties that some countries have with the US, and it allow, it's like, it's an investor E1, E2 visa. It's an investor visa, whereby this countries there's a list of countries and they have treaties with the US, and you come in here as an investor and you invest into the US, and there's a treaty that talks about it. In your home country, there's a list that is in the the list about the E visa. If your country qualifies, you can be able to change from a B-1, B-2 to the to the E visa. That's a possibility. The H-1B visa, which is a work visa, is a little bit more complicated, because you have to find you can adjust from a B-1, B-2 to a H-1B, but the likelihood of that happening and you still being in status is very, very very limited, because it's there's a whole process that goes into the H-1B visa, and you only have 6 months in the US admitted as a B-1, B-2. So a lot of times you either have to go back into your home country and continue processing your H-1B visa while you're outside the country. So that's a possibility, but it's a very remote possibility for that to happen while you're still in the US. And so that that is a way that those are some of the ways that you can be able to change from your visit visa to to adjust to a different type of visa. But be very careful of intent, and also when you're walking through this process, please seek legal advice. Very important. Some of these things sometimes they just go. You never know. You don't wanna. You don't wanna just go hit a bump along the way, because this things can be very complicated. And now you get into the point where it gets even more complicated. Is sometimes some people overstay. This is where now you are like, it's red flags everywhere. You came here as a visit visa, with a B-1, B-2, but then you overstayed past your I-94. This is red flags, my friend. This is red flags. We're not even going to talk about you. Seek legal advice. Contact a lawyer to be able to help you navigate that. Because then now that starts to get really complicated. And, a lot of times it might involve immigration court and all that stuff. And so, yeah. So, yeah, if you're in that special situation, I've seen people who've gone out of status and then changed, with the help of a lawyer, changed their status, and they've gotten their green card, they've gotten their citizenship. It happens. But please seek legal advice when you get to that point. That point that's a no-no. That's where I'll tell you that's not recommended. Don't do that. Don't do that, because they might deport you and blacklist you from coming back to the US, because then you get to the point of violating immigration laws, and that's not where you want to go. Again, to wrap up this video, intent. Your intention to get, if you go to if you apply for a B-1, B-2 visa, you're applying with the intention of going back to your home country. Very important, because then once if you mix up everything and all that, you might end up getting yourself in hot soup. Okay, so what else I wanted to talk about so these are some of the visas, non-immigrant visas, that you're not able to actually change your status. So if you come to the US through these ways, you cannot be able to adjust your status. Okay, if you are admitted into the US through the visa waiver program, so the US has an agreement with some countries for the visa waiver program. They waive the visa. So if you came to the US with a visa waiver program, you cannot be able to change your non-immigrant status. You cannot be able, if you are admitted with a visa waiver program, you cannot be able to change your non-immigrant status. If you came in here as a crew member, which is a D, non-immigrant visa, if that's how you came into the US, you're not able to adjust your status. If you came in here in transit through the US, which is the C non-immigrant visa, you're not able to. If you came into the US in transit, so you're in transiting in the US but without a visa, which is a TWOV, you cannot adjust. If you came in here with a fiancé, K1 visa, if you came in here with a K1 non-immigrant visa, K non-immigrant visa, you're not able to adjust. You're not able to, if you're admitted into the K1, you have to finish that process as a K1. You can't come in here as a spouse, as a fiancé visa, and then change it to an F1 visa. You cannot be able to do that. So you came in here with a fiancé visa, you have to finish the process, get married within the 90 days of you landing in the US, and then process your adjustment of status from that. Okay? If you came in here as an informant, and maybe you came in with your family, informant on terrorism or any organized crime, which is the S non-immigrant visa, you gotta stay on that visa. You cannot adjust your visas. So those are some of the visas that unfortunately you're not able to change. You're not able to change to a different visa. You have to stay with that visa. Okay? And there's also the M1 visa, which I often talk about, the vocation. So if you come here with an M1 visa, that means you went to a vocational or a technical institute. You cannot change to an F1 visa. And also you cannot change to, you know, to a H status, which is a work visa. And also, if you came in here with an M1 visa, you cannot change to any H status visa, which is a temporary worker visa. Okay? Hopefully that was informative for you. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit that notification bell, and you'll get notified every time I post a video. Otherwise, hope you guys take care of yourself. Thank you.